On April 29, 2025, HYBE posted record-breaking first quarter performance with the revenue surpassing 500 billion won for the first time in the company history. Now, I did live stream their conference call on my channel. Some of you might have already watched it, but at the end of the stream session, I said I will summarize the earnings call into a nice short video. So here it is, the one you're watching right now. So here's a key takeaway. Despite the seasonal slowdown, HYBE posted strong growth in both revenue and operating profit in Q1 2025. Concerts and MD sales, merchandise sales were major drivers, and even stronger growth is expected in the second quarter of this year with a wave of comebacks and rookie debuts. So let's talk about that. Alright, so HYBE reported consolidated Q1 2025 revenue of 500.6 Korean billion won, which is a 39% increase from the same period last year. Traditionally, the first quarter is when artists wrap up year-end activities and take time off to prepare for new albums and projects, resulting in fewer new releases and less new content. But in Q1 2025, a significant number of HYBE artists including BTS, J-Hope, 17, TXT, ENHYPEN, and BONEKDO launched world tours and solo concerts that fueled a sharp increase in revenue. And as more groups reached a level where they could hold global tours, overall revenue expanded accordingly. Revenue from direct participation, including albums, concerts, and advertisements, reached 322.5 Korean billion won, accounting for approximately 64% of the total. Album revenue saw a slight decline compared to the previous year due to fewer new releases, but concert revenue soared to 155.2 billion Korean won, more than 3 times higher than the same period in 2024, thanks to the overwhelming success of the world tours. Revenue from indirect involvement of artists, including official merchandise, intellectual property licensing, content, and fan club memberships, totaled 178.1 billion Korean won. Notably, merchandise and licensing revenue saw a 75% year-on-year increase, reaching 106.4 billion Korean won. Tour-related merchandise received strong support from fans worldwide, driving robust sales. In addition, character merchandise inspired by HYBE music group artists such as 17's Mini Teen, TXT's Bulbatu, and Le Sserafim's Films Club, and BONEKDO's BONEKDO contributed to revenue, even outside of concert venues. The company anticipates growth in both revenue and operating profit in the second quarter, as most artists under HYBE Music Group are expected to make comebacks and resume full-fledged activities. BTS Jin is scheduled to return on May 16th with his second solo mini album Echo, and will kick off his first solo fan concert tour across Korea, Japan, the US, and Europe starting in June. 17 will celebrate their 10th anniversary with a new full-length album set for release on May 26th, their first studio album in 3 years. ENHYPEN, fresh off a strong performance at Coachella, is preparing to drop a new album in June. BONEKDO, who has been setting new career highs with each release, will continue their growth trajectory with their 4th mini album, No Genre. KATSEYE, HYBE's new global girl group, will release their new single Gnarly on April 30th, tomorrow. And Le Sserafim is having their first world tour, Easy Crazy Hot, across Japan, Asia, and North America, which will happen in September. They successfully finished their Korean concert in Incheon, right? Meanwhile, rookie artists are also preparing for their debuts. Aeon, a 7-member Japanese boy group selected through Nihon TV's audition program, One High Dreams Start Line, will officially debut on June 11th. They said that the group has already built a solid fan base thanks to strong local support during the show's broadcast. And this was one of the highlights from their earnings call. BigHit Music will introduce a new boy group in Q3 2025, and this team will be a next generation creative crew, as they describe, with members directly involved in not only songwriting, composing, but also choreographing and producing their own content, like visual content, video content. They have already demonstrated their creative capabilities by participating in music and performance production for senior HYBE artist 선배님 since last year, according to HYBE executives. So that's quite exciting. And as CEO will later answer during the Q&A session, Chairman Bang, Hitman Bang, is directly involved, heavily involved in production for this group. So that's very exciting. In the first quarter, HYBE America achieved significant milestones in the global market. But before that, over 150 concerts are already scheduled for 2025. And that's nearing 2024's full year record of 172 shows. So that's awesome. And HYBE is expanding into new markets like Europe and Latin America, where HYBE's footprint has been smaller. And pop-up stores are expanding from Korea to North America, Asia, and Southeast Asia, Greater China. So that's also exciting news. Now, in the first quarter, HYBE America achieved significant milestones in the global market. BMLG, Big Machine Label Group, secured the Publisher of the Year award at the 10th AIMP Nashville Awards, while QC Music demonstrated strong performance with Lil Baby's Wham! Topping the Billboard 200. The company also launched a new project in collaboration with global creator Alan's Universe, aiming to debut a next-generation pop group targeting Gen Z. Having achieved notable success since their debut last year, KATSEYE plans to further solidify their presence at the upcoming 2025 Lollapalooza Chicago, they said. And HYBE Latin America is successfully initiating its expansion in the Latin market, highlighted by J-Hope of BTS commencing his solo concert in Mexico, as well as 17 and TXT performing on the main stages of Mexico's leading music festivals. They also announced the launch of Paseo La Fama, a reality competition show that aims to discover talents for a new Mexican band in collaboration with Telemundo and acclaimed Latin artists, which I have talked about in one of my recent videos. Now, what about Weverse? Global superfan platform Weverse recently launched a listening party, which is a service enabling artists and fans to host online gatherings, listen to curated playlists together, and engage in real-time chat. It's powered by its partners with Spotify and with Apple Music integration coming soon. The feature, they said, offers an immersive experience that deepens connections between artists and fans throughout their mutual love for music. So there we go. What else? So to summarize, growth despite off-season for first quarter. Concert and merchandise sales drove strong results in a normally slow Q1. Concert scale up, not just more shows, but larger venues and expanded global coverage. IP business expansion, they're strengthening their character IP and driving fan spending outside concert halls. And Rookie and comeback boom. Q2 is expected to be a major growth quarter with multiple comebacks and rookie launches, notably the new boy group in Japan and new boy group under BigHit. And Weverse platform stability. They're sustaining user growth with new content and event expansions on the horizon. Now, here's a highlight of a conference call, which is a Q&A session. First question was this. Can you share any additional details about the upcoming rookie boy group beyond the third quarter debut schedule? And they're referring to BigHit's upcoming rookie boy group. But the CEO didn't reveal much. The group has been in preparation for a long time, they said. Chairman Bang is heavily involved in the content production, and they said we can only confirm that it will be a 5-member group at this time. Other details are not ready to be disclosed yet, and we ask for your understanding. But the exciting part that I've heard was this, as I mentioned, that they're described as a next-generation creator crew. Members are capable of self-producing music, choreography, and video. So highly talented group, I'm assuming. And further concept or content details remain confidential for now. So yeah, rather than a typical idol group, I think they're positioning the team to highlight self-producing and creative capabilities. So probably they will likely to become a core asset for future IP expansion and global strategy. Next question. What lessons were learned from debuting KATSEYE, and how is HYBE America adjusting for the new boy group? First one, efficiency. The US market requires a broader approach across multiple channels and involves much higher investments. So they said we have built know-how to improve operational efficiency. And differentiation. The US is a highly competitive market with a flood of artists, so they will focus on using evolving media strategies to differentiate their group. And leverage. There are many different platforms in the US, but the key strategic channels overlap. So they plan to fully leverage the know-how gained from managing their existing artists. So there we go. So I believe that HYBE America is refining their operational model based on lessons from KATSEYE debut, and they're also hinting at larger global projects that could combine music with drama or other media. And by that, they're probably referring to the Allen's Universe project. Content revenue typically includes. Why was content revenue weak in Q1, and what's the growth plan? That was the third question. And they said, first of all, subscription and membership revenues are not included under content sales. And content revenue consists of DVDs, memories packages, and self-produced video content. Content revenue is highly event-driven and tends to fluctuate depending on the release schedule. And starting in Q2, multiple new events and releases, especially BTS Jin's comeback, are expected to drive content revenue growth. Okay. So yeah, content sales depend heavily on event timing and major releases, but revenue is expected to rebound in second quarter with products like memory books and new reality content linked to comeback activities from Jin and 17. Next question. HYBE is known for handling concert production in-house, unlike other companies. Are there any initiatives to improve concert profitability? This was pretty interesting. They said, after COVID, demand for live performances surged, causing inevitable cost increases. And although concerts are technically part of the content business, the production side has characteristics more similar to manufacturing or construction, the CEO said. So the core tour contracting structures differ by region. In Korea, they handle directing and planning internally, but in the US, they operate through local partners. So they're currently building a standardized global tour model. Also, while focusing purely on profitability could boost short-term margins, it could also compromise concert quality. And they are saying that they remain committed to maintaining high production standards and will continue invest in state-of-the-art equipment. So in other words, HYBE treats concert not simply as short-term profit drivers, but as brand building and fan engagement content. So they are balancing operational efficiency with strict quality standards to ensure long-term competitiveness. So I honestly appreciate that a lot, And I've been to 3 concerts, HYBE artist concerts last year, and my overall impression was that, great quality. I was satisfied with the performances, the venue, and how the events were handled, and yeah, the experience from the beginning to the end. So I have nothing to complain about, and hopefully it will only get better from now on. All right, so here's a summary of the Q&A session. BigHit new boy group. Not much was revealed other than the fact that they're positioning themselves as a creator crew. That kind of reminded me of DPR, which is also a creative crew that's capable of not only songwriting, but also producing, video content, creating, and directing, and so on, right? And Chairman Bang is deeply involved. US new boy group, they're incorporating lessons learned from KATSEYE, and they're focusing on efficiency, differentiation, and leverage. Content revenue, Q1 was weak due to event absence, Subscriptions excluded, but Q2 comeback-driven rebound is expected. Concert profitability, they're recognizing tours as manufacturing-like operations, and they're balancing margin efficiency and quality investments. So there you go. I mean, I can go on and on to talk about how I felt about the conference call, but I think this is a good summary so far. Overall, I was quite satisfied as a shareholder, and I agree, Q2 and it's only going to get better and better, but it's notable that they have achieved their best yet Q1 performance financially. And the fact that a lot of artists, a lot of groups are now capable of pulling off world tours, that's just amazing. So I will continue to cheer on and support these lovely groups on their HYBE labels. And yeah, Q2 is packed with comebacks and schedules. Like my HYBE dedicated calendar is filled. So that's exciting, and I hope you're excited too. And let me know what you thought about this Q1 performance. What were highlights for you, and what are you most excited about in Q2? Okay, with that, let's wrap up. As always, when you communicate, let's stay positive, respectful, and classy. Subscribe if you haven't already, and see you guys later. Bye-bye. Peace and love.